Hey guys, this is Sean Sanders. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. So hit that like button, subscribe, and tell a friend about me. I just want you to know that it is dark. It is 6 o'clock at night. It is 6 o'clock. In fact, it is 6:03, and I cannot get over how dark it is. This time of the year, it makes me crazy because I am so tired, and mainly because it's so dark so early in the evening. So please forgive the lighting. I am sitting in my car waiting for my son to come out of practice. So I figured this would be a good time to do a Nonstop November video. So remember to hit that like button, subscribe, tell a friend about me. Thank you so much for the well wishes. Bianca, I am trying to rest, but a girl who works for her money real hard can't really rest. But I've been trying to take some NyQuil as soon as possible. I make dinner for the family, take my NyQuil, and go to bed, because I have got to drive. Starting Friday, I've got to drive, and so I cannot get on the road feeling like this. So I've been airborne and doing all sorts of stuff. So, but thank you for the well wishes. I am on the mend. I'm not feeling as bad as I did on Monday, but I'm still feeling kind of lousy. So let's talk about a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So I got some notes, so I'm looking down because I'm looking at some notes. And just to talk about a couple of things. One is Portia and Candy. Now, for those of you who watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know, Portia seems to be delusional about her relationship with Candy. And I'm not quite sure why. And there's something that is a running thread about Candy. And she's got the Cardi B mantra: you have beef with me, you have beef with me forever. So I don't understand why Portia thinks that everything is, even on her surface, copacetic, because it's not. and I know Portia doesn't think this, but Candy holds grudges, and I don't ever see you guys ever being cool ever again. And that segues into my thing with Candy and Escape. And this boils down to a video I did a long time ago, saying about sometimes when you watch your celebrities in these reality shows, you find out that they're not likable. Like, there's a lot of celebrities that before we knew who they were outside, that we didn't know them outside of being an artist, we loved them. Then they go into these reality shows, and then we find out we don't really like them as people. Like, we just wish that they had just sang or acted or did something. But then when they started opening their mouths and we started seeing who they were and not their persona, we realized we didn't really like them. And Candy on the Escape show is not likable. She is downright, she's a crybaby. She's she's a control freak. She's a manipulator with her crying. She thinks it's her way or no way. And she's the baby in the group, because when they were talking, she was saying that, she was 14, and then Tiny was a sophomore, so she was a freshman. Tiny was a sophomore, and Latasha and Tamika is the oldest. She was a senior, and so I think Tamika falls in there. But the thing about, I could not be friends with someone like Candy, because even if you apologize, she's never going to let you live her down. And you either accept the apology and you either say screw you, or you accept the apology and you build a different relationship. And obviously, if you watched What Happens Live, you knew that Candy is not forgiving Tamika at all. And I remember, I believe it was the first episode, and they were all sitting down at a restaurant, and the first thing she said was, yeah, I'm good now that I got my apology. It's like, I don't like people who want to throw things in your face over and over again. You either accept it, and she hasn't accepted it. So it's like, it's just best for them to move on. I think they should do like, you know, Boys to Men. Boys to Men, they branched off and they had their own little group with the three guys. And it's like, you form another group. Don't have Escape. Or do Escape, and you write something in where Candy can get a little bit of coin from using the music if it's something that she wrote. I'm sure there's ways to do that, where you're going to go on tour as Escape, minus Candy, and sing the songs and come up with some new music and do some cover songs that people would like, bringing R&B back. I think that the fans would like it. But Candy has a stank attitude, and her singing, at least on BET, was not great. Lovely T 2000 was saying she was giving Billy Goat Gruff tease, you know, Baba Black Sheep tease, with her singing. So nobody would miss it, as far as the singing goes. So I would say, let it go, Portia. Candy is never going to forgive you. And even if she does, the next season's storyline will be thrown in your face at any given time. Okay, so now let's talk about the boys. The young men who were in China, arrested and accused of shoplifting. And that was LeAngelo Ball, Jalen Hill, and Cody Riley. From what I read, that they are leaving China, flying back to LA. They should be leaving Tuesday. And that Trump had a conversation with the president in China and negotiated for the boys to come back to America. And that they, right now, they are suspended at school, and it's up to the coach to decide what's going to happen. Let me just tell you, and for those of you who are also, if you haven't been subscribed, go to I Am Beautiful Soul, or Beautiful Soul Speaks, and she did a really great commentary about these young men. And a lot of people have been talking about it. Lovely T 2000 have also talked about it. I've spent quite a bit of time overseas, and you just don't play around at places like you know, Thailand. And the one I mentioned about was the young man. I looked it up, and I was right. A young man, 19 years old. He was sentenced to 4 months in jail, and Kane supposed to have six strokes, and it was reduced to 4. And it was for vandalism, stealing road signs, and that was in Singapore. They do not play around. And you know, a lot of countries do not like Americans, so why would you do something that could get you, you know, out of American soil in prisons? I mean, and we're talking about like serious hard time. But the president negotiated something. I hope they realized that they dodged a bullet, because they could have gotten some really, really bad penalties. Not to mention, it's a black eye for Americans, and how once again we have no sense of social morals or social character to not touch things that don't belong to us. It's just, and of course, you know, it's just bad PR. So they are going home. And lastly, I wanted to talk about, you know, this abuse. Now, Sheree Whitfield talked about her emotional, physical abuse with her ex-husband, Bob Whitfield. And now it's coming out, the pipeline. I was watching Layla Lynn, so check out her channel. And it went on, she talked about Mama Evelyn Braxton talking about this more alleged accusations about Vince being abusive to Tamar. And I want to know what's really going on. And is this about the money? Because I have some concerns about it. Now, the Braxtons are mainly the the girls. There's only one boy, Michael Braxton. But he's not part of the Braxtons. We see him come in when they're doing like family dinners. But Tamar won, Tamar was pumping up all about Vince. Remember, your husband's this, your husband this, is your husband this, but this dude right here, remember that? She made a big thing. So now we're seeing things unfold and peeling back the layers, and that she is also someone who has had a husband who is not on the up and up, allegedly, right? My thing is this: if the abuse was for real, and I don't know, but if the abuse was for real, why is it as a family, mom and sisters alike, the wrong word is saying aloud, because you really can't stop somebody. If someone wants to be in a relationship, you really can't get them out until they're ready. But I could not be hanging around Vince if that was my sister and my sister's getting beat upside the head, fingers bit, or if I witnessed any abuse, there is no way I would be sitting breaking bread with my brother-in-law, who I'm just not going for it. Now, she can go for it because that's her husband, and if you like it, I don't have to love it, but I'm not going to be around it. But all the women seem to be okay with Vince and Mom, who was in the home with them helping raise, Logan. So now that everything is coming down, now they're telling all the laundry. The sisters are being caught at the airport, pretty much concurring. Mama's saying, keep your hands off my daughter. All the women now are chattering about Vince. Doesn't that concern you? Is it me, or is anyone else not saying that there's something kind of strange? Are we selling our souls for the dollar, for the publicity? Because I'm not understanding. And then, okay, here's another thing. Now that it's coming out, what good is it going to be now? Because he's part of the industry, and here you're getting a divorce. So now you are tarnishing his reputation, that some people may not want to fool with that. That you've got a character flaw that by principle people may not want to mess with, that may not want to do business with someone who puts hands on women. So now you are messing with his potential future earnings. How is that productive for you? And I'm only saying this because if he's such a bad guy, it just doesn't mesh to me. But he was making money and it was okay to keep a secret. Now we don't like it. So I don't understand. So put it down in the comments what you think. Hey, son. I'm making a video. All right. How are you? Good. All right. So leave it in the comments, because I'm very confused about this. So what do you think? Do you think it's for real? Because Miss Evelyn, Mama, already said some more about the alleged abuse. So what do you think about that? You think that's cool? You think they're right? Do you think it's a fraud? Let me know in the comments. Nonstop November. Take care of yourself and each other. Talk to you soon. You ready to go? Mm-hmm. All right. Bye.